For sure. Well, cool, man. Well, we'll peel back all these layers, and I want to begin our conversation with what we went through for the last 3.5 years or so. How did you survive this pandemic we all lived through, and how did it change you?
I didn't do too bad. I was in Indianapolis at the time when it started. I think I was probably one of the first people to ever get it before even it was even in the news. Because I
Wow.
think once everything got shut down, it was around like mid-February or March, I want
Yeah.
to say. And New Year's Day, I was just super sick, dude, just dying in my living room while everybody's out partying. I'm in a dark room with cold broccoli on my
Yeah.
head. So yeah, it was a crazy experience, but I actually was doing very well because at that time, a lot of people were consuming content on the internet,
Yeah.
which means a lot of people were trying to create content. And I was a videographer at that time, so I ended up making a lot of money and getting a lot of like back to back sales. Um, and then that was the year that I also decided, let's move to Phoenix. So I had to pretty much start everything over, no connections and stuff. So that was the most difficult part. And I came across a few platforms that was basically like they allowed just regular people to go and connect with other brands who wanted a face for their product. So I pretty much was making ads for different products and services for companies using my face and my likeness, and then I would get paid to do that, and that pretty much got me through everything.
Okay. So, did you build up an immunity after you got it so early on?
Um, yeah, I never got anything else from
Okay.
that.
Cool. Good. Because I've wondered that if you got it early on, if it built some kind of super immunity, because that was the beginning, before all the variants and all that. Well, that's good. Um, So what I want to do is, I know you're a content creator, but I want to kind of get to kind of the marrow of the bone, so to speak. So I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders. It's career day, and one of the kids is curious and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How would you answer that child?
I would tell that kid that if they had a toy that they liked and they didn't know anything about that toy, but they were possibly interested in it, then I would be the person that they would see on TV talking about it.
Okay. All right. So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream?
I actually wanted to be, you talk, or like you're speaking to me directly.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to be a zoologist.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
ever pursue it?
Well, yeah, I was in the zoology books heavy, like Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, National Geographic. I actually know quite a bit about animals and biology and stuff like that.
Okay.
Space, I was always into that stuff. But my idol was like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
Yeah.
And then when he died, when he was, I think a stingray got him,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, that just ruined me, bro. Like I was
Damn.
crying the next day in school all night. Like it was
Damn.
a terrible thing. And
That
since
that That was bad, man, because that dude, I remember watching him and I remember introducing people to him. Check this dude out. He's going after the 12 deadliest snakes. I mean, that dude went after everything that was hardcore. And then this stingray, that's it, man. It's like
Pro
it
G, the stingray got him. Like
so what's your power animal?
my power animal.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Like my
Just
favorite
like
animal?
what would be the animal that you respect the most that would represent your ideal animal?
I've never been asked that question before. Um, an animal that I respect the most that would be my ideal animal. That's really something I've never thought about. I would say I really like a bear. It's not my favorite, but I would say I like bears just because of their versatility.
Yeah.
They climb trees, fast, strong, um, and they sleep a lot, I guess. So, yeah, that's probably what I would say.
I've noticed videos lately where I guess one of the ways to like scare them off from coming after you is to get really loud and a little bit crazy. And then
Uh, I'm pretty sure that's for the brown bears.
okay,
The
okay,
black bears, I think you actually have to get a little bit more aggressive.
okay, yeah, have to
So,
start swinging.
yeah.
But still, man, if you saw something that big coming at you, you would really have to have your wits about you to be even thinking something like that.
Yeah, it's I don't even yeah, I can't even imagine that
Man,
situation. Dude,
yeah.
they're incredible animals. I've seen 2 bears fight, and I'm like, that's yeah, I just don't wanna be anywhere near that.
No, no, they can have it. They can stay there. So let's go back to your roots in Indianapolis. Talk to me a little bit about where you were born and raised and the seeds that got into you to become, a content creator and someone that's helping people get their products out there.
So yeah, I always kind of had a. I'm not a person who likes to be told what to do. I was always telling my mom like, I'm never going to work fast food or the traditional job that the traditional route that a kid would go.
Yeah.
In school, I'm like, nah, McDonald's, no, pizza, nah, like I'm better than that. Call me arrogant, but that's just kind of my mindset at the time. And I did, in fact, try to get different jobs later on as I like got closer to graduating. And it was just really difficult. Nobody really wanted to hire you. The saying, I need to get hired to get skills, but nobody wants to hire me if I don't have skills.
Yeah.
So, I kind of ran into that situation. Um, but it was okay because I ended up going to college and I was running track in college and trying to be an athlete and still go to school and stuff. You have to pay for your books, and I just got in a crazy situation. But I went to school for art, and one of the mediums that I ended up going with art was video production. I would make like because I was in a digital arts class, so I would make cool videos, just being creative. And my teacher saw that, and she was also my advisor. I was talking to her about the struggles that I was going through, and she actually got me my first job, so to speak. So I was filming videos for the college and doing interviews, and that's where I picked up a lot of my skills in videography and film directing and editing. Was just doing that for the school. But I've always kind of been a creative person. I was always drawing since I was a kid, making like crazy stories with action figures, and I played around with some video editing in high school. And yeah, once I got to college, it was just I got that job, started making money for the first time, and literally everything took off. And I just got to the point where I'm like, why am I in college?
Right.
Like I'm making like doing because I was working for myself. I'm like, I never really saw myself working for somebody else. So I was like, I can just do this because I'm already doing it. It's a skill that I have that people need. So I just kind of went that route. Oh, did I answer everything or
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm 51 and I come from that generation where, you wanted to retain your creativity, but you knew that you needed insurance and you needed a salary and all of that. So I love the spirit in the younger generations that are like, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. Because it's totally, it's totally plot. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. Even early on with you not wanting to work fast food, that's it. That was your mantra, and then you just build up from there. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Um, so obviously you're highly driven, highly motivated as an entrepreneur. Who's been a hero for you? Who's motivated you to be who you are?
hmm. You know, I would say it's just been a person. It's been the person that I've been since I can, as long as I can remember. I've just been like a go against the grain type of person. That's just been, I don't know who put that inside of me.
Yeah,
Uh, that I just been that way. But I will say the earliest memory that I have where I seen something and I was like, I want to go get that. It was probably like music videos, like from like Nelly or Ludacris, like early 2000s. I was at home. I see the nice cars, the beautiful women, and stuff like that. I'm like, I think a lot of people were like, oh man, like I can never achieve or reach for something like that. But my mindset was like, oh, I can probably do something like that too. I never saw it as something that was out of my reach or unattainable,
yeah,
even though I didn't grow up in a situation that was, uh, I guess, favorable to reach something like that. I just kind of always believed in myself that I could do something like that. And I've
yeah.
always been that way. So that would be the earliest memory that I have to, I guess, inspiration that would make me um, pursue something like that.
What was the first video you made where you were like, this is good. This is me. This is my destiny.
The first video that I made was in Actually, it's kind of funny. I used to. I think there was a girl that I was dating, and I did something and I made her mad. So I made like a video of like a montage of all her cell phone moments because I would shoot stuff on my phone. So I made a video of like pictures and stuff that we had all together. That was probably the first like crazy video that I put together. But my actual video was probably in college with my roommate. We did a martial arts, well, not martial arts. It's like kind of like a kung fu inspired. I used to grow up watching Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, all those guys.
Yeah.
It was more like a fighting inspired video where we went on the tennis courts at the campus and we just put this little story together. And once I put that whole thing, I had my girlfriend at the time filming, and I'm telling her like what angles to get and stuff like that because I was also acting in the video.
Yeah.
So once I got that put together, I was like, yeah, this is definitely for me. And it led me to my first job, dude. So that was for sure that moment.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Um, dude, there's so much. I don't even, I can't even really tell you what the best is. Um, I think that one of the things that I came across recently that I really respect and appreciate is like it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And I know that sounds super cliche, but I've spent so much time trying to like acquire so many different skills in the creative space. I have a lot of skills in the creative space and there's so much that I can do. Um, but it doesn't really matter. I've learned. I'm 28. Well, I'm about to be 28 in a couple of weeks. I've learned that it doesn't really matter the amount of skills that you have. It's simply like this person knows you and knows that you do this, and that just launch pads you to wherever in space. Um, so yeah, the best advice is probably that, and having just a lot of friends. So meeting as many people and creating relationships.
You're right. It as cliche as it does sound, it's totally true. Because if you look back on your life at all these opportunities that happen, so it's not the cold call. It's not that dream where it's like someone's going to see your talent and ability and reach out to you. It's really about kind of this daisy chain of knowing people and having that personal connection. It's the way the world works. And it's not a bad thing. It's good. I mean, that's why we do what we do. We want to connect on a human level. So, um, let me ask you this. If you could meet one person on the planet right now and spend some time with them, who would it be?
Um, it will probably be Chris Doe. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I've heard the
Uh,
name.
he is a creative. He's a creative, but he's very, very heavily on the business side of things. He has a YouTube channel called The Future. It will either be between him or a guy named Myron Golden, who teaches business. Well, he teaches business off of Bible principles, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, it's probably one of those two guys.
So, what is the motivation for you every day to be creative, to evolve, to be the best you? What gets you out of bed and makes you be that person?
I just realized what that was probably about 4 months ago. So I'm glad that you asked me. I think a lot of I've never had to really operate on a schedule as everyone else. I've since I was really, I guess, in college, but for sure outside of college, I would wake up and just start the day and do whatever that I wanted to do. But recently, I've found I've been listening to a lot of people on the internet, like successful guys, and I've compared notes as to like what everybody is saying. And I've come to the conclusion that they all, Kobe Bryant, like Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, like, all those big name people, Patrick Bet David, they're all saying the same thing in a sense. It's like you can't really focus on the goal, the end goal of everything. It's really about like Kyrie said, chopping wood, carrying water, that everyday thing. And I'm waking up every day trying to really forget about or put it in the back of my mind where I want to be and really focus on developing myself as a character. So, like you said earlier, just self improvement, becoming the person that can achieve those goals, becoming the person who can get or overcome those challenges, So that kind of just drives me, just trying to, I mean, I kind of see myself as being in the video game almost. I'm my own Grand Theft Auto character, and I just have to level up my guns, my armor, my knowledge and my experience. So, every day I'm trying to work out, make sure that I'm eating correctly, and just get as much knowledge as possible, and just keep connecting with people and stuff. Just take it day by day, get my schedule together, and I just follow that same schedule now. So.
So, of all the work that you've done, what's been the best fan letter, best client response you've ever gotten?
Uh Dude, this video is so amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. Like I get those messages all the time. Um, and a lot of people say like I'm really easy to work with, so that's really refreshing to hear. I don't remember anything specific. Um, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I just get so many of them, and I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, like, it's a good feeling, when you can produce something and somebody's like really appreciative of it.
Absolutely. So let's say you have a dream tonight. You run into the senior in high school version of you, and you could give that young version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained so far in your life. What advice would you impart on that young version of you?
I would tell myself to not really worry about what other people think as much. I how do I put this? I would say when I was younger, when I was super young, I was probably more on the arrogant side of things. Because you remember I told you like I didn't really like being told what to do. I kind of did what I want, thought I was the best, and I would have told myself to probably sit more in that personality type and meet more people and not I guess be arrogant, but I would tell myself to probably chill out a little bit, just think a little bit more when you're interacting with people, but for sure like don't water your personality down when you're around people, because I felt like that it really cost me a lot of relationships that I could have had from high school, and especially in college. Um, I just missed out on a lot of stuff just because I let outside influences influence me in a direction that I didn't really want to go. But I got it
Oh,
back.
yeah, totally. So everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Uh, I think that I'm a artist, a creative, and whatever it is that I want to do, I can do it if I just make the decision to do it.
Right on. So if anyone out there wants to hire you, look into your work, reach out, what's the best way to do that?
They can reach out to me on Instagram via DMs. Typically, it's cheddar underscore Ches. My name is Sanchez. Underscore again. So cheddar underscore Ches underscore, or visit my website at infinitesanchez.art.
What a great handle. That's cool. That's very
Thanks.
cool.
I actually made it in high school and I haven't changed it since.
Oh,
So
cool,
I
man.
was going to, I'm like, this is kind of like immature, but people were like, I just meet people like your age, 50, like Cheddar Chaz. I like that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, cool.
it's cool. It's a great handle, man. Sanchez, thank you so much for opening up. Thanks for your story. I always love this spirit of getting out there and creating your destiny. So thank you for opening up. Have a great 2024, man.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you having me on here as well.
Yes, sir. Take care.